We're here in Roswell, New Mexico, coming to see the National Championship Air Races.
Hey folks, Florida Aviation Network here, and this is our journey. You're welcome to join us to the first air racing event held at the Roswell Air Center in New Mexico. Okay, so hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Rich.
We're here with Florida Aviation Network. Where are we at today, Rich?
We are in Dallas, Fort Worth, our first stop on our way to Roswell, New Mexico.
Turn around. And look, we just came in right there on that 737?
Airbus 321.
No, that was on that Airbus 321.
And we're going out on that 777. Not.
So we sat and formed a game plan in the American Airlines Lounge of DFW, and before long, we were on the ground in New Mexico. We weren't really sure what to expect once we arrived, except of course for aliens. But we hit the ground running. Since we landed at the same airfield where the races would take place, we looked around to get the lay of the land. We found the Formula One, the biplane hangars, the newly constructed archway that would mark the public entrance to the event, where we made friends with the local National Guard. And Rich wasted no time using the rental car for a better perspective. With plenty of time left in the day, we decided to visit the sights of downtown Roswell. We found the visitor center, did some local shopping, and of course, we went to the UFO Museum, which was actually really interesting and definitely worth the time. After some really good tacos at a locally owned restaurant, we finally called it a day. Our first day started early. Wednesday morning, we watched the sunrise on our drive-in and caught a tractor ride from the parking lot over to our first media briefing. From there, we hopped on the first bus and headed out to the pylons. Out here, we watched the first couple heats of the Formula One and the biplane races, while keeping an eye out for some pretty intense cacti. After those races, we moved to a different location and watched a few arrivals in the first jet heat.
And you look at the bottom of the checker pylon, it looks like the white flag is up. White flag is up.
Then we came back in, spent the afternoon watching the final races from the grandstands, and closed out the first day on a positive note by having a great conversation with Fred Telling, chairman and CEO of the races.
Johnny Walker down there in the start-finish line.
Thursday morning started out with the Stoll drag races. We then went off to explore the static displays, which included some old, some new, some fan favorites, of course, and even other racers. Around noon, we caught up with racing pilot Greg McNeely of Team Race 90 before venturing out to a different pylon location for a closer view of Greg and the T6s in action, followed up by the afternoon jet heats. By Friday, we had made good friends with our tractor driver. The Stoll dragsters continued kicking up dust. Rich interviewed another pilot, this time Formula One rookie Mark McIntyre. Several new military arrivals came in for static display, including 2 F-16s from the demo team at Holloman Air Force Base. And after the day's races ended, we came back in for a conversation with marketing and scholarship coordinator Greg Gibson. But our day was not over yet. That evening, we took up an invitation from a local media photographer we had met and found ourselves at a small drag strip hidden behind the airport. And despite Rich's attempts to convince me, we did not enter the rental car. Saturday morning, we rode with media ops out to the runway, where we got a good look at the final preparation for the biplane and the Formula Ones before their races. We had hoped for 2 heats of each, but the weather had other plans. While the racers tried to wait out a short squall, after a few pylon judges got stuck in the mud, we had to head back. Soon after we got back, we huddled with everyone else in the biplane hangar while the heavy rains came through. And after the storm, we interviewed media ops director Andy Monroe, who shortly thereafter delivered us the news that any remaining races of the day had been canceled. But if Rich and I know anything as Floridians, it's how to not let a thunderstorm beat you. We set off to explore and found Bottomless Lake State Park about 12 miles outside of town, where we viewed some absolutely gorgeous landscapes. The rains left a great deal of fog behind for us on Sunday, but that quickly burned off and we were back out in the field with the local wildlife. After coming back in, Rich did one more interview with a Formula One pilot who had done an emergency landing earlier in the week. Then, once the final checkered flag had flown, we headed out to watch the winners receive their due awards and congratulations. The event certainly had a few issues, but in the end it came together successfully and safely for all those involved. And we had one final adventure on our last day. Thanks to the hospitality of Austin with Roswell Airport operations, before our flight out we got to explore a boneyard with over 200 old aircraft waiting in the desert sun to be salvaged and scrapped. Once all was said and done, it was a worthwhile experience. The people of Roswell were great and supportive of the event. It will take some work for sure, but it seems that here in the land of enchantment, a new legacy is being built for the National Championship Air Races.